What is sonnet? These basic questions must be occurred in your mind when you study history of English literature or interested in English literature as a student of English literature or having grave interest in English literature. Elizabethan sonnet is a part, an important part in English literature. Definition of sonnet. A sonnet is a general sense means a short poem. It is a poem of 14 lines with a special arrangement for rhymes, and generally it treats one thought or emotion. So, the sonnet, this word comes from Italian sonetto, what means a sound or a song. It originated in Italy. The sonnet was first written in about 1230 or 1240 century, 12th century by G.D. Lentino, a Sicilian lawyer at the court of Frederick II. In the following century, it became an established poetical form and in the master hands of Petrarch, Dante, who are generally known as the master of sonnet, Italian sonnet writing. In England, the sonnet came by the hand of Wyatt and Surrey of their literary initiative. So, Italian sonnet writers like Dante and Petrarch are important. Also, in England, Wyatt, Surrey, Sidney, Spenser and Shakespeare. Italian sonnet writers like Dante and Petrarch, as they wrote 14-line poems considered as sonnet, divided by two parts, octave and sestet. Octave 8-line poems, 8 lines of the sonnet, and sestet another 6 lines. Sir Thomas Wyatt, known as the innovator of English sonnet, following Petrarchian tradition in English sonnet writing. Imitating the Italian model has affected the spontaneity of his verses, which have remained occasionally rather mechanical. What's great service to English poetry is the introduction of the sonnet with its strengthening influence on English meter and diction. He remains in the final analysis the pioneer in the realm of English literature, despite his imitative tendency. What was successfully followed by his contemporary and follower Henry Howard, Earl of Surrey. Like Wyatt, he was drawn to the new poetical fashion from Italy and endeavored to shape and mold English poetry under its animating influence. Surrey's attempt is not to imitate Petrarch blindly. In him is found the variation in the rhyme scheme to suit the purpose of English poetry, and the new form introduced by Surrey comprises 3 quatrains with a closing couplet. First 12 lines and then the conclusion is drawn suddenly in the concluding couplet. So both Wyatt and Surrey have followed the Italian theme of love with its passion and pang. And the names of Wyatt and Surrey, however, to go together inseparably in the history of English sonnets. And Tottle's Miscellany 1557 published in where a volume of miscellaneous poems written by Wyatt and Surrey was published. Now we will talk about Sir Philip Sidney, whose Astrophel Stella is significant, a series of 108 sonnets about his own frustrated love for Penelope, the daughter of the Earl of Essex. These sonnets were probably written in between 1580 to 1584 and published in the spring of 1591 after Sidney's death. So, Petrarchian model following the rules and the Italian master's poetic worship of Laura in the first series of his sonnets. And Sidney in the sonnet is found to have developed as a mature form of art and to become rich in artistic excellence and subjectivity in his theme and essential characteristics of his lyrical poetry. Now, Edmund Spenser, a great name in Elizabethan poetry, also attempted sonnets. His sonnet series Amoretti, a collection of 89 sonnets which appeared in 1595, has actually an Italian title inspired by Petrarch. The sonnets are addressed to his lady love Elizabeth Boyle, who became his wife and contained some autobiographical matters. And the sonnets written in his maturity reveal his efforts to introduce further innovations in the rhyme scheme. His sonnets are musical, lofty in theme and feeling and thoughts, and depth and potency of great sonnets, and have not the personal and sincere notes of Sir Philip Sidney. In fact, his sonnets appear artificial beside Sidney's, but in colorful imagery and melody, and his superiority is unquestionable. So, apart from these Sidney, Spenser, Wyatt and Earl of Surrey, Shakespeare, the name the greatest in English sonnet writing in the field of sonnet writing during the Elizabethan era. The greatest name in English literature. 154 sonnets written by William Shakespeare. These sonnets are unsuppressible and for their loftiness, profundity, melody. 126 sonnets are addressed to a young man of a rather uncertain identity. 2 sonnets are about Cupid, and the remaining 26 are addressed to an unknown dark lady, better known as Dark Lady Sonnets. Shakespeare's sonnets are somewhat different from the conventional sonnets of the Elizabethan period. These are not merely about sex love addressed to a fair but unresponsive lady love. Masculine friendship also depicted here. Even in the Dark Lady sonnets, no Petrarchian conventional method is followed by him. They are more realistic and have not the sentimental adoration of the lady love. And the lady in the Shakespeare sonnets is dark, not beautiful, frail and cruel, not constant and kind. Thank you so much for listening and watching this video. You must reread and follow this video and Google search for better understanding. Have a good day to all of you.